Once in a while, you might get jobs that may want you to watermark the photos as you deliver them, or even not just jobs. Even once in a while, you might want to watermark your own personal photos for different reasons. So the same way Lightroom enables you to edit your photos as a batch is the same way Lightroom enables you to watermark your photos as a batch. In this particular video, the 8th part of my Lightroom class, I'm going to teach you guys how to create watermarks. Two types of watermarks. Number one, a simple text watermark for that client who does not have a graphical logo, and number two, a graphical watermark for that client who already has a logo or an icon that they want to use on their photos as their watermark. So without further ado, let me get the software running. And the issue of watermarking photos is so subjective. So there are those who love it, there are those who do not love it, there are those who do it all the time, there are those who have never done it. But once in a while, in the course of doing your work, regardless of what you think about watermarking as a photographer or as a personal opinion, you might get a client who wants you to watermark their photo. And like they always say, the client is always right. So I'm going to teach you how to create watermarks using Lightroom. I'm going to teach you guys how to create two types of watermarks. So using the same photos you have been using since I think the second part of the series up to now. These photos of my students from Mwalimu Arts Collective. I'm going to be teaching you guys how to create watermarks. Okay, and like I said, the first watermark I'm going to show you guys how to create is a simple text watermark. So for example, I'm going to create a simple text watermark of maybe my name, Mwalimu, and use it to watermark this photo. So then I'm going to actually use now my actual logo, the Mwalimu logo, to watermark these photos as the second type of watermarks. Okay, so for you to create a watermark, you have to go to the edit menu. So I'm going to go up here, edit. So then at the bottom of the edit menu, you can see we have edit watermarks. I'm going to click on it like that, and immediately I'm going to get this particular menu popping up. So as you can see, this is the watermark editor, and when you come to this side of it, you can see we have two options. Okay, we have a text watermark or a graphical watermark. So like I said, we're going to start with a text watermark. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to create just a text written Mwalimu, and like you can see, the window comes with a sample written copyright. So but I want to change this. So this window down here is where you input your text. So I'm going to input Mwalimu, and as like you can see in real time, it is changing here. Okay, so once I have the text that I want to use as a watermark typed over there, when I come to this other side, I can change the properties of the font of that particular watermark. For example, I can change the font style of that watermark, the font that is, to something else of my choice. Maybe for example, like that one looks a bit African and wild. So then I can maybe change the style from regular to bold to italic. Anything that you can modify in the form of text, you can do it here. So then you can come here and change your alignment. Do you want this logo aligned to the left, to the center, or to the right? So I'm going to move this a bit later, but this is about the alignment of the text. So then about the color, do you want it as a plain color, or do you want it to have it colorful? Most of the time, I want my watermarks to be plain colors, either black or white, because the moment they are colorful, they can start competing with the colors in the photo. So I'm going to leave it as white. So then you come down here, you set the shadow properties, because you can see that watermark has a shadow to enable it to appear in different ranges of colors. So I'm going to leave that as is. So then down here we have what we call the opacity. So opacity is, do you want to see this logo fainted, or do you want to see it fully visible? So sometimes, or most of the time, you want it to be a bit faded. So I'm going to reduce my opacity to maybe around 30, 40 is always good. So then the size, how big do you want it? So like you can see, I can increase the size of the watermark from here, and I think we had a size 10. That was just a good enough size. So then I'm going to change the position by clicking anchor. So when I click anchor down here, you can see I've moved the logo from the bottom left to the bottom center, and I can move it to the bottom right the center, there, depending on where you want your watermark. But most of the time, you want your watermark to be down here. And so after setting these properties, I think my watermark is good enough. So I'm just going to save it and give it a name. So when I click on save, I'm going to get this window, and I'm going to call this Mwalimu text watermark, like that. Watermark. So then I'm going to save it. So the moment I'm done with that, when I go to the next step, which is the export window, I'm going to get that logo, that watermark ready for me to use. So let's go and create the second watermark, which is the graphical watermark. Same process. Go to edit watermarks, and now once I get this particular menu, I'm going to use the image options, and I'm going to choose an image. So when I'm going to be choosing an image, I need to go where my files are, and let me just see, they should be somewhere here, and I should have a folder here. Yes, so here it is. I'm going to pick this one. It's white in color, and like you can see, here's the logo down here in the same position. But now the moment I pick an image option, you can see my text options are not enabled, where I was changing my font size, my font style, the opacity of that, and the shadow and things like that. They have been disabled because I'm now working with a graphical watermark. Okay, I'm not typing text into the watermark. I'm working with an already made graphic. So just to clarify, this graphic must be in PNG format because it has to be transparent. It should not have a background. That's why if you look at this particular logo, you can see the green behind the logo where I do not have the name or the box around the name. Okay, so your watermark file, it has to be a logo or an icon in PNG format because it has to be transparent. Otherwise, it's going to have a background, and that background is going to cover part of the image. So please ensure that your image, your graphic for the watermark is a PNG file. Make it transparent. If it has a background, use, for example, Photoshop to remove the background and then save it as a PNG. So once I have it down there, I have the option of adjusting these properties. For example, the opacity, like I said, do I want it fully visible or a bit faded? Of course, a bit faded. I normally do around 40%. So then in terms of the size, do I want it like it is, or bigger or smaller? I think I'm going to leave it like is. It was a 10, looks good enough. So then in terms of the position, where do I want it? I think I want it in the same position, and that is bottom center. Okay, do I want to rotate the logo? No, let just the logo stay like is. But for example, if you want to use your logo, let's say in the top, in the center right, you can maybe rotate it so that it gets aligned to the image like that. Okay, but I want it down here without any form of rotation. So I'm going to save it like I saved the previous one. So you can see I've just taken the graphic option, the text option is are disabled. Then I've set the opacity. I've left the size as it was. You can increase it and reduce it here. Then I've put the position as bottom center, like I did in the previous one. And now I'm going to hit save, and I'm going to give it a different name. So this is Mwalimu graphical watermark, like that, and I'm going to create. And now when I get to the export window in the next video, because in the next video we are going to be dealing about exporting, I'm going to get these watermarks ready for me to use, because I can save as many watermarks as possible. I can save as many as I need to. So different watermarks for different clients and for different needs. So in the next video, I'm going to show you guys where we are going to access the files that we have just made now and make watermarking our images a bliss. And we are going to watermark our images at the same time as a batch, the same way we edited them as a batch. So that is how you make a watermark, either graphical watermark or a text watermark. You go to the edit menu, then go to edit watermarks and change maybe the size of the watermark, the opacity and the position. Then you save it using a nice name that you're going to remember at the end of the export menu. So the name is Mwalimu. See you guys in the next video as I show you guys how to export your photos from Lightroom and send them to your clients.